Hello everybody and welcome to another AutoCAD video. This one is going to be an introduction to our belt buckle project for the metal shop. We're just going to be going up here and making sure that our draw space is set up the way we like it. If you've opened up the template for the belt buckle, that's great. If you have not, you can use any AutoCAD that is in inches. Just check with your teacher to make sure you have an appropriate one open. Once you're in there, you can just double check to make sure that your drawing utilities located right here are set up correctly by looking at your units and making sure that you're in the decimal with 4-point precision and in inches. If you're drawing everything in millimeters, centimeters, kilometers, or parsecs, you're going to be wildly out to lunch. So make sure that you're set up in inches and you should be ready to go. Once that's good, you're going to press OK and let's get started. Up on the top here, we have our Home tab that's going to show all of our different commands that we can do for in the program. We're going to start with line. Now, I could either select this line right here, or I can use L on my keyboard, which I'm going to do here, and select it from a drop-down list of pieces. So the line command is going to get you going. We're going to click that. And we're going to go to our space 0, 0. AutoCAD uses a coordinate system. So our 0, 0, and then we're going to select enter, is going to lock us onto the 0 point of our X and Y axis, as you can see here. I'm going to then hold the line 90 degrees in the upward position until I get that little green dotted line, and I start typing the length. For my length, I'm going to want 2.5 inches in the vertical direction. This is the line I was talking about here. And I press enter. It's going to lock it down to 2.5 inches. I'm going to bring it over 3.5 inches in this direction, making sure I had that green line highlighted to make sure I'm going 90 degrees. Down 2.5 again, 2.5, enter. And then over to my 0 point. I know that's my 0 point because of the green square and the endpoint command that's shown up there. One little click, and I've got it ended. Now it still wants to keep drawing lines, so I'm going to just hit that escape command, top left of my keyboard, and just get out of there. Now I have a box to kind of get started that's an appropriate size for a belt buckle. I'm going to go up to my toolbar here on my keyboard, and I'm going to use the fillet command. So a fillet is going to allow me to radius 2 corners. Once I select one line, I'm going to have to go down here to where it says radius, click that, and it's already at 0.25, but it's going to default to 0 for yours. So make sure you type in 0.25 there, and you'll be good to go. So 0.25 or a quarter of an inch. Enter, and I'm going to select an adjacent line. Once I hover over that adjacent line, you can see it's going to preview the rounded corner. Click, and there it is. Once I've done one radius, it's going to save my selection of a quarter of an inch unless I change it, and I can just continue clicking that command to radius all my corners, make them nice and round so they're not sticking into my belly. Now that I have this here, I'm gonna look for an image. So under our insert tab on the top left here, I can click that and I can do attach. So I've already downloaded a copyright free image using Shutterstock or pixabay.com. You can look for Google Images, but you may run into some copyright issues. So I've got one from Shutterstock that is absolutely free. It is a wrench and gear logo, and I can just click that, press OK, and it's going to bring it into this point. So I'm going to select the point right beside here, and as we can see, it is quite a bit bigger. If I scroll out using my scroll bar, I'm going to scale it down so it is approximately, let's go here, the size of, or as close as I can get it, to the size of my belt buckle. That looks pretty good. All right. So there's the image there. I can mess around with the size of this a little bit later on, but this is going to give me something to trace because I don't know about you, but I am not the best drawer on AutoCAD when it comes to these fussy little images. But we're going to go to home and we're going to use a few of our other commands. We have circles, we have arcs, and we have polylines. The easiest way to do this is to just start with a polyline and click a whole bunch of times. It's going to look like this. I go polyline, I'm going to pick a point right here on the orange, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to go a short ways over, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to click. And even though this is going to look somewhat blocky as I'm doing it, you can see the preview there, it's going to come out looking like my image. Now, fast forward, and we're going to have this done in a second. Before I do that though, another option as I get to the end of this, I'm going to just go up to this last point here, close enough, escape that, is to do an arc. So I have a slight arc on the outside of here. I'm actually going to lock on, so make sure that my green arrow goes on there. I'm going to finish over to here. I'm going to use a 3-point arc to do this next one. So escape command, I'm going to use arc. The type I want to do is 3-point. I'm going to pick my first point, which is the end of this line. My second point is the bottom of this. My third point is going to be the top of this. And if I hover over that, I'll go back into my polyline so you can see polyline starting at the end of this arc. And it's very difficult to see, but it's there. Once I delete this image, you're going to be able to see it very clear. There you go. Nice arc. A little less blocky than the first one. So I'm going to continue on. Check back with me once I've got this all highlighted around the outside. Okay, and through the power of technology, I have finished tracing out my image. It's not perfect, but that's okay. I'm going to just select the image that I first brought in and hit delete to show you. There it is, all traced out. One little issue that we're going to run into is these are all separate lines, even though we use our polyline. So anything that's polyline is going to highlight as one. But where I use the arcs and stuff like that, it's going to highlight separately. So I'm going to use a command called join, J-O-I, on my keyboard, hit enter, and I'm going to draw a box. So if I click and move up and left, I get this green box. And I just want to surround everything in there until it all highlights as blue. If I hit enter now, it's going to highlight as separate pieces, all connected. So now I'm ready to move this onto my belt buckle itself to make sure that the size is going to be appropriate. I'm going to use the move command. So up here at the top, this move, or M on my keyboard, is going to give me move. And again, I'm going to draw a box over everything. I'm going to press enter, choose an anchor point, let's say right there. I'm going to bring it into the center of my belt buckle. Right now, I can say that that's going to be too small for what I'm trying to achieve with my design. So I'm going to use this scale command. SC on my keyboard is going to give me scale. Drag and drop over that. Enter. Select the point. And I can make this bigger. I think that looks pretty good. Again, I'm going to use my move command. Highlight everything there. Grab it by a point. And center it up as best as I can. I think that looks good to me. It looks like what I'm looking for in a belt buckle. So the trick here is, for the purpose of BobCAM, we actually want to keep these two items separate because we want to make one and then emboss or engrave the other. So now that that's there, I'm going to move this out of my way. I'm happy with it. Select these two pieces. I'm just going to set it right off to the right here. I'm also going to need a way to weld this on. So right here looks like a prime spot for me to weld. I may need to weld something on the outer portion here as well. So I'm going to use the BobCAM program to weld this wrench piece on. And then I'm going to use a drill press to put other holes to weld the other piece on. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to actually break this. BR break command right here to there, and then break it here to there. Delete this line, add a polyline from here to there, and from here to, oh, not there, to, let's take that snap off right there. And then break this right about, oops, snap, come back there, and join it all up again. There. Oh, what's this here? Ah, that looks better. Now I'm not going to have pieces falling apart on me. So make sure those are all closed. Now I only have to worry about one weld. So escape out of there. I use my line command to give myself some guidelines here. So that was L. Snap midpoint to midpoint. Midpoint I know because of the little triangle. And just so you guys know, I'll slow it down for a second here. The snap cursors down here, this box with the other box on the top left, allows me to pick all the points that I can snap to, those little green highlights that I have. So I want to make sure that my midpoint here is selected when I'm laying this out. And then I'm going to escape out and do a circle diameter here. And we'll go 0.25 or quarter of an inch. Might be a little on the small side, but by the time it cuts on the CNC, it might be just fine. Then I'm going to move this back to make sure that we are going to be welding on it, and we are not. So put that here, Control Z, move. Looks good there. I'm going to move this weld circle and make sure that it's somewhere appropriate. So grab it by the center or any anchor point here. And I'm going to click it right there. That looks good. Now, don't need these two lines. Highlight, delete. Everything else looks good. I'm going to bring my image layer out. And then I have my belt blank. So these two files are going to go in the CNC. Stay tuned for part 2.